Okay. Yeah. Um. Okay. For this topic, um, for basic trigo review, this is right triangle and basic trigonometric identities using right triangle approach. So let's start by defining right triangle. So a basic triangle has six parts, three angles, and three sides. To solve a triangle means to determine all of its parts from the information known about the triangle. That is to determine the three lengths or the lengths of the three sides and the measures of the three angles. But for this given right triangle, it has its own parts aside from three angles and three sides, which is the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent. As we all know, the hypotenuse it is the longest side of the right triangle, whereas the opposite, this is the opposite side. From its own name, this is the opposite side of the reference angle, and lastly, the adjacent side. This is the one that is near the reference angle. So for our example one, we're asked to solve these given right triangles. It says that solve triangle ABC. So let me just share my screen, my other screen that we can solve there. Okay, I hope it's visible. So the given. Okay, so we are asked to solve triangle ABC. Let me write it here. Okay, so here we, as I've mentioned before, we must solve all of its missing parts. This this right triangle. So for in this case, um, we have our given we have angle A, which is 30 degrees. We also have angle C, which is 90 degrees. So let's take note of that. Once we saw this small square, this is considered 90 degrees. So aside from that, we also have this one. So we will label this as side C, is 12. And there you go. So for the unknown, we must find first um, angle B, this one, and then the other one is its side, which is side B, and lastly is side A. Okay, for our solution, it must we must solve for angle B. So from your previous topic, it is mentioned or it was discussed that the total sum of angles of triangle is 180 degrees. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be equal to 180 degrees. Nothing more, nothing less. It must be exactly 180 degrees. So here we already have the value for angle A, which is 30 degrees. Angle B is missing, and angle C is 90. So we will add these two. 90 plus 30 degrees is 120 plus 180. For angle B, we will transpose this to the right-hand side to isolate the missing, the missing angle. So 180 degrees minus 120 degrees. This is 60 degrees. So angle B is actually 60 degrees. So for side B, we will use Sohcahtoa. Actually, you can solve this using different methods, using different approach. But for this lesson, we will use basic trigo or basic right triangle approach. In this case, Sohcahtoa. So you can use sine law, cosine law, but um, we're asked to solve this using right triangle approach. So for angle A or side B, we can solve this using Sohcahtoa. We are given 30 degrees and we have 12 here and this one is missing. So this is adjacent and this is hypotenuse. So we can use cosine here because adjacent or cosine is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So substituting, we'll get cosine 30 degrees equals the adjacent is B and hypotenuse is 12. So isolating B using some basic algebra. So B is equals to 12 cosine 30 degrees. Okay, putting this to our calculator, we'll get 10.3923. So that's the value. So that's the length of side B. Okay, for side A, mm, we will also use Sohcahtoa here. So, given 30 degrees and side A and given the hypotenuse. So this part is hypotenuse and this one is the hypotenuse, this one is the opposite side. So we will use sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So substitute sine 30 degrees equals opposite A over hypotenuse is 12. So cross multiply is equals to 12 sine 30 degrees. Sine 30 degrees is actually zero point 0.5 or 1/2. So half of 12 is 6. We're checking. We can check it in our calculator. It's 6. Okay. So we're done here. Let me share my other screen. So for part B, we're tasked to solve angle XYZ or triangle XYZ. Let me just rewrite it again. 52, YZ, 14. Hmm, I wait. Before that, before we proceed, I will also solve this one, these two sides using special triangle. Um, as we all know, we have already calculated the interior angles or the angle of this triangle, which is 30, 90, and then 60. So this is a special triangle. This is 30, 60, 90 triangle. Actually, shortcut to, no? Dun sa pag-solve natin na to, hindi na natin kailangan ng cosine or ng sine or SOHCAHTOA whatsoever. This one is actually the shorter method in solving these using sides. So, but we must remember or take note of this that if we get 30, 60, 90 triangle, take note of this formula. So this one must be 2x, this one is x, this one is x square root of 3. So kailangan mo memorize yung tatlong to. But kapag na-memorize mo to, it will be a lot easier than this. Hindi mo na kailangan ng mahabang method mo to. Okay? So, as we all know, the hypotenuse here is 12. Kaya 2x is actually 12. So for getting x or obtaining x, we must divide both sides by 2. X is actually 6, which is this one. In this case, ito si A. So kung si A, sa-substitute ko na siya dito, this will be 6 square root of 3. So putting this our calculator, it is 10.3923, which is just this one. Same lang sila. So it is a lot easier and shorter. Mas mabilis mo siyang masasolve. Another another special triangle is 45-45 triangle or 45-45-90 triangle. It has also its own distinct formula. We are given a 45, 45, and then 90. The formula is actually just x, the opposite of 45, and then this one is also x. And this one is x square root of 2. Yun yung formula niya. So for 30, 60, 90, and for 45, 45, 90 triangle. You could use this in solving trigo problems. Lalo na kapag nagagahol ka na sa oras, you can use this technique. Okay? So moving on. Okay, so here, I will orient this, I will rotate this para hindi siya ganun nakakalito. So, gagawin ko siyang ganito, this orientation, para hindi siya masyado nakakalito. So, this is x. This is 52 degrees. This is Z. The hypotenuse is X. And the height is 14. This is Z. This is Y. Okay? Also, kapag in-input nyo sa calculator to, make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. Kasi pag radian, mamali ka. You're given 53 degrees, it is in terms of degrees, so you must also set your calculator into degrees. How do we do that? So we just press mode or shift, then mode, then this press 3 degree. You can see, as you can see, letter D yun nandito niya. Okay? So yun. So we're asked to solve its missing sides and angles. So for a given, we have angle Z is 52 degrees. We have side Y. I will label this as side Y as 14 and angle X is 90 degrees. So for the unknown, wala tayong angle Y, wala rin tayong side X, at wala rin tayong side Z. Okay. So yun. For solution, starting with obtaining or calculating angle Y. So angle X plus angle Y plus angle Z, they must be equal to exactly 180 degrees. Angle X is already given, 90 degrees. Angle Y is missing. Angle Z is 52 degrees. 180. So 90 plus 52, it is 142. Let's check. Okay. Course 180 degrees. So transposing this to the right hand side or just subtracting both sides by 142 degrees. Angle Y is actually 38. 38 degrees. Kung gusto nyo i-check, we must add this, and this. They must be equal to 180 degrees. So check natin. 38 plus 52 plus 90 is exactly 180 degrees. So okay na tayo dito. So ay 38 degrees. So for angle X, okay, for this one, I will use different approach para makita natin so that we can check if our answer is correct. I will use sine law even though it is not advisable in using in this case because it might take a lot of time or memorizing some added formulas. Pero we will use that to check our answer or to verify if our answer is correct. So for this is for A and then for B, we're asked to solve X. Okay, we will use SOHCAHTOA first and then we will check it using sine law. SOHCAHTOA. So if we are given this, so if this is our reference angle, which is 52 degrees, and we are given 14 here, and the unknown is X. So what's the relationship of the reference angle to 14? Obviously, X is hypotenuse. This one is the hypotenuse. But since this is our reference angle, as I've mentioned before, the one that is closer to our reference angle is the adjacent side. So this one is the adjacent side. So we are given adjacent and hypotenuse, so we will use cosine. The cosine 52 degrees equals adjacent 14 over hypotenuse, which is x. So isolating the unknown or the missing length, we will get, so imagine this has 1 below. So x is equals to 14 over cosine 52 degrees. So in putting this sa calculator, 14 over cosine 52. So it is 22.739 round up 8. Okay. So this is our first method. For our second method, this is by using sine law. It is quite um, easier than cosine law kasi si cosine law mas mahaba yung formula. Eh. Pero for sine law, we will just memorize this formula, which is sine alpha over its opposite side, which is a, equals sine beta over b equals sine gamma over c. Sabi nila, when you are finding or when you are solving for angles, yung mga trigo mo nasa taas. Kapag naman daw length yung sinasolve mo, it must be written in this form. B over sine beta equals C over sine gamma. But actually, it makes no difference basta tama yung pagkakasulat. You must just take note that all signs are aligned with each other and all given lengths must be aligned to each other. So, okay, going back to our problem. So, let me rewrite the triangle here. Given 52 degrees, x, angle x, z, y, then 14. So, okay, so in using sine law, um, we must have at least one angle and its opposite length. So this one, nasolve na natin si y, si angle y, which is 38 degrees. What I mean by that is, dapat meron kang isang length, which is, kunwari ito, sa example natin, 38, tsaka yung opposite niya. We cannot use 52 and its missing opposite kasi yun, wala pa siyang opposite. Unlike this one, we're looking for x. So, okay, we're looking for x, so we will use this side, obviously, and then this one. Do you get that? Bakit natin gagamitin? Kasi ito, meron na siyang given angle and its opposite length. This one, ito yung unknown, yung x. Ito, 90 na to, di ba? 90 na, 90 degrees. Di natin masasolve yan kung kulang-kulang tayo. Kunwari, merong 52 degrees lang, and this one is missing. This is also missing. We can choose sine law then. Another approach in solving such problem is using cosine law. We are given two sides and then one angle in which there is no opposite angle or there's no angle and its opposite. So yun. So we will use sine 90 degrees, ito, and yung hinahanap, which is x, equals sine 38 degrees over 14. So cross-multiplying this, our goal is to isolate x. So si x mapupunta siya sa taas, itong sine 38 sa baba, si 14 mapupunta doon. So x is equals to 14 sine 90 degrees all over Sine 38. Okay. Dapat same siya dito, ha? Okay, so putting this to our calculator, so 14 sine 90. Sine 90, I believe, is just 1. So, sine 38. So, yun. Parehas siya. So, 22.739. Same lang siya nun. Okay. Also, another advice. Nagano na si Zoom. Sabi niya, tapos na yung 40 minutes. Another advice, in solving such problems, there are some professors that will ask you to solve it using running solution. So there are times that you will need to use these these computed values for in obtaining another unknown. So kunwari kung um, gagamitin mo to sa pag-solve ng kunwari, in this case, letter Z or side Z, if you would use this, you must use the whole decimal, not just these four decimal places, but the whole decimal to avoid or to make your answer more precise. At yung mga ibang prof, ginagawa nila yon para maiwas yung error. Minsan kasi may error or some discrepancies in obtaining some answers sa tag-iiba-iba in nearest tens, in nearest hundreds, and even in nearest thousands. Kaya paggamit nila yung buong decimal para consistent at more precise yung answer mo. But my advice is when solving this, you must use or maximize in using the given values. So for this, you must maximize in using this. Kasi kunwari kung ito, nakuha mo nga siya sa 38 degrees using this given, but in obtaining this, you would use, ay gagamitin mo ay 38 degrees. What if mali yung 38, diba? So, mamamali na rin yung B mo. Unlike in maximizing or in using this given, you can minimize the possibility of getting an incorrect answer. Kaya mas maganda kapag nagsasolve ka, gamitin mo yung given. Huwag mo nang munang gamitin yung answer mo. Baka minsan, overlook mo, manamali siya. Okay? So, lastly, for angle C, we're asked to solve our angle C tuloy. For letter C, we're asked to solve side Z. So, in this case, gagamitin ko na lang SOHCAHTOA. I just showed you how it works in sine law, no? How will it be done using sine law? How it is done using sine law. So, hanapin natin si Z. So, ito sa 52 degrees, si 14. So, ano yung relationship ni Z sa reference angle natin? This is the opposite. And this one is adjacent. So, opposite over adjacent, it is tangent. So, tangent, 52 degrees, is equals to opposite. Yung opposite yung missing, at yung adjacent niya is 14. So, ito, lalagay ko lang doon or I will just show it in this way. I will multiply both sides by 14. This will be cancelled. 14 times tangent 52. So 14 tangent 52 degrees. So 14 tangent 52 is equals to 17.9192. You could solve it using sine law. And if you will get the same answer, it means that your answer is correct, probably correct. Okay. We are now in the applications of trigonomes, right triangles. So for the application, for our next example, we need some terminology. So if an observer is looking at an object, then the line from the eye of the observer to the object is called the line of sight. So yan. Dito, sabi niya, yung from the observer, it's the observer's eyes to the sa object kung saan siya nakatingin, you call this the line of sight. This horizontal line. In this case, kung ito naman yung titignan mo, ano yung line of sight dito, this is his line of sight. Okay? So, yun. We have two different case here. The angle of elevation and the angle of depression. So, what's the difference between the two? So, magbe-base tayo dito sa line of sight, which is this horizontal line. So, angle of elevation siya if you are forming a right triangle like this. This is angle of elevation. It is angle of depression if you are forming naman a right triangle like this one. So, you can distinguish what's the difference. So, in short, angle of elevation if the terminal angle or yung angle niya, yung pagkaka-rotate niya is above the horizontal line. Angle of depression kapag naman below the horizontal line. Yung horizontal line natin dito is yung line of sight. So yung line of sight natin. So, yung horizontal. Another difference is that this one is positive, this one is negative. Okay? So if the object is being observed is above the horizontal line, then the angle between the line of sight and the horizontal is called the angle of elevation. Okay, yun yun. If the object is below the horizontal, then the angle between the line of sight and the horizontal is called angle of depression. And if the line of sight follows the physical object, such as inclined plane or a hillside, we use the term angle of inclination. Um, Kapag daw gumagalaw or yung line of sight natin, it is rotating or it is following the physical object, called this angle of inclination. So, okay, so for our next example, a giant redwood tree casts a shadow 532 feet long. Find the height of the tree. Find the height of the tree if the angle of elevation of the sun is 257 or 25.7 degrees. So sabi niya dito, angle of elevation. So we are assuming that the right triangle is oriented like this. Kasi sabi niya, angle of elevation, di ba? So, meron naman ditong, ayan, just said that the tree casts a shadow 532 feet long. Just this one. Tapos, sabi niya, um, find the height of the tree if the angle of elevation of the sun is 25.7. So, yung angle of elevation niya, pag ano niya sa sun. So, if you will draw this, um, if you will draw the triangle, it will look like this. This 25.7. 25.7. This is 532 feet. And the unknown is this, the height of the tree. So, share ko yung camera ko. Or we could just solve this here na lang, no? Bilis lang naman. So, the relationship, you will just use Sohcahtoa. Sohcahtoa. So, the relationship of the reference angle dito kay 532 feet is adjacent, di ba? Since this is closer, this is the length that is closer to the reference angle. So we are given adjacent. So dalawa na lang choice mo, it's either ka or towa. But this one, ito ay opposite. Opposite niya. So this one is ka or cosine. So writing this cosine over equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So substituting, we will get cosine 25.77 degrees equals adjacent natin is 532 over height or the wait, mali pala. Nagkamali. Okay. Let me correct this. This is actually tangent. Kasi nga pala opposite, adjacent. So mali pala yung nasulat ko. Okay. Actually incorrect. So we will use TOA pala, which is tangent equals opposite over adjacent. Okay, so tangent natin, tangent 25.7 degrees equals opposite niya is age. Yung missing yung height. And the adjacent side is 532. So we cross multiply this. So h is equals to 532 tangent 25.7 degrees. This is just equal to yun, 532 tangent 25.7. 256.0343. And don't forget the unit. This is your final answer. Hirap magsulat sa mouse. We'll try parang again in sa paper para mas mabilis. Okay. For our next example, a flagpole stands in the middle of a flat, level field. 50 feet away from its base, a surveyor measures the angle to the top of the flagpole as 48 degrees. How tall is the flagpole? So, wala siya sinabi dito kung angle of elevation ba siya or angle of depression. Pero sabi niya kasi, naman dito, yung surveyor, he measures the angle from the top or from the base to the top of the flagpole as 48 degrees. So we assume that this is angle of elevation kasi yung surveyor, if this is the surveyor, this is based daw sa nag-base siya sa base ng flagpole and its height up to the top nito. So this is angle of elevation. This is 48. So ito, may example, ito yung naka-drawing na siya. So we will solve this dito na lang sa isang device para mas mabilis. Okay, sulat ko lang. So this is example 3. So, meron tayong 48 degrees dito. This is the height of the flagpole. Dinenote siya as letter A, right triangle, and then 50. So, by taking a look sa relationship nito, this one is opposite, this one is adjacent. So, we will use TOA again. So, TOA, di ba? Sa TOA, are given opposite, then adjacent. So, tangent, 48 degrees, opposite A over adjacent 50. So, cross multiply, A is equals to 50 tangent 48 degrees equal to 55.5306 feet. Easy. Okay. You could also use sine law or other method or other approach in checking or in verifying your answer. So, dun tayo sa next example. Okay, for our next example, 100-foot wharf sits along the bank of a river. A surveyor stands directly across the river from one end of the wharf. From where he stands, the angle between the lines of sight to the two ends of the wharf is 31 degrees. How wide is the river? So, meron tayong example dito. Ayan siya. So, buti meron siya naka-drawing. But if we visualize this, or if we are the ones who are asked to draw the diagram, we must analyze the problem. So sabi niya kasi 100-foot wharf sits along the bank of the river. So if this is the river, andito yung wharf. Sabi niya, it sits along the bank of the river. So ito siya, andito siya. And it is measured 100 foot. So if a surveyor stands directly across the river, so across daw the river, if nandito daw ang surveyor, nandito siya. So across the river, from the end of the wharf, from where he stands, the angle between the line of sight to the two ends, yung two ends na tinutukoy niya is yung two ends ng wharf, which is this one and this one. So, kung nakikita daw niya, yung line of sight daw niya, two ends of this of the wharf is 31. So, dito. Kung nandito siya, so ito 31 degrees. How wide is the river? Yung pinapahanap. Kano daw ka lawak or gaano daw ka haba yung river. Okay? So this is X. We will denote this as X. Dito B, no? Okay, we will just follow this B sabi. So, pairing my other device. So, for example, we'll draw it like this. This is B, 31 degrees. This is 100. So, this is our reference angle. So, meron tayong opposite and adjacent. Obviously, this is the hypotenuse, no? Kasi this is the longest one. So, we're given tangent equals opposite 100 over B. This is tangent 31 degrees equals 100 over D. So, cross multiply natin. Yeah. Okay, cross multiply natin. This one will be B equals 100 over tangent 31 degrees. So, putting this to calculator, 100 tangent 31. This is 166.4279. Don't forget the may unit ba siya? Hit. That's our final answer. Nakapagingin pala siya. Okay. Okay. For our next example, standing across the street 50 feet from the building, the angle to the top of the building is 40 degrees. So sabi niya dito, so kung galing ka sa baba, yung angle daw from baba hanggang sa top of the building is 40 degrees. An antenna sits on the front edge of the roof of the building. The angle to the top of the antenna is 52 degrees. How tall is the building and how tall is the antenna itself, not including the height of the building. So, dalawa yung unknown dito. We're asked to solve two unknowns, which is the height of the building and the height of the antenna itself, excluding the building. So, if this is the antenna, as this is the building, we're asked to solve this one. I will label as X, and this one, which I will label as Y. So, yun yung hinahanap. But I just said that, okay, so yung angle to the top of the antenna is 52 degrees. So, dito, this one is 52 degrees. 52 degrees. Ito naman, sabi niya, the angle to the top of the building naman is 40 degrees. So this one is 40. This one. Okay, so we have two different angles. Sa antenna, yung sa building. So we will solve this na lang dito sa isang. So ito yung given. So yan, meron pa pala siya dito which is 50. 50 feet from the building. This is 50. Okay, let me share. Okay, for example number 5, we'll draw it like this. $50. Imagine if this is the height of the building is 40 degrees. And then the height of the antenna naman or the angle sa antenna from the line of sight is 52 degrees. Okay. So we will first denote niya to as A and then this one is H. So we're required To solve for A, this small letter A, and then for B, is the height of the antenna. Okay, we will first solve the height of the building. So we're given 50 feet, and then the opposite. So 50 feet is the adjacent. Tapos yung opposite ng A. So tangent 40 degrees equals to opposite A over the adjacent side, it is 50 feet. So cross multiplying, we get A is equals to 50 tangent 40 degrees. It's equal to 41.9550. Okay. So yan yung height ng building. Okay, so sa height naman ng antenna, we will first solve yung pangkalahatan na to kasi given itong 52 degrees is wide open here. So, tangent 52, so given kasi it's just the same, so we will use TOA. Tangent 52 degrees equals age all over 50 feet. So, let's multiply tangent 52, 50 tangent 2. This is 63.9971. However, this is not the final answer. Kasi this is the angle or the height ng pangkalahatan na ito. For this entire length. So, sabi kasi sa problem, excluding the building. So, we must subtract this to this one. So, we will subtract 63.9971 feet minus 41.9550 feet. This equals to 22.0421 feet. So that's the height of the antenna. Okay? So, proceeding to the next. Okay. For basic trigonometric identities, tapos na tayo dun sa right triangle. We are now in trigo identities. So for basic trigo identities, first we have the reciprocal identities. Each of the 6 trigonometric functions is a reciprocal of one of the other 5. So for cosecant A, it is equivalent to 1 over sine A. For sine A, it is equivalent to 1 over cosecant A. For secant A, is equivalent to 1 over cosine. For cosine is equal to 1 over secant. For cotangent is 1 over tangent. And for tangent, it's 1 over cotangent. These are the reciprocal identities. So for sine and cosine identities, each trigo or each of the 6 trigo is a reciprocal of one of the other 5. So these are just the same. So for Pythagorean identities, recall that the intersection point of the terminal side of angle A and the unit circle has coordinates, which is cosine and sine. Thus, cosine squared A plus sine squared A is just equal to 1. That's the Pythagorean identity. So using the previous or using some um, trigo identities, we can manipulate this one to get another identity, which is 1 plus tangent squared A equals secant squared A. If the identity of cosine squared A plus sine squared A is 1, it's divided by sine squared A, and the cosine and the sine over cosine identity is applied to the result. One obtains cotangent squared A plus 1 equals cosecant squared A. So I will show this two. How did they get this two? So it says that cosine or sine squared A plus cosine squared A is equal to 1. This was derived using Pythagorean theorem, which is c squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Ayan, nagano na si Zoom. Tapos nag-out. We will just make this one quick. So just remember this identity, sine squared a plus cosine squared a is equals to 1. It will consume time if we will prove this. We only have 9 minutes. Okay, this was derived by this, by using this theorem, which is Pythagorean theorem. It is said that if we divide both sides by sine squared a, we will get another identity which is related to cosecant and cotangent. So sine squared a will divide all by sine squared a, sine squared a. So a quick recall in our previous identity, which is the reciprocal identity, 1 over sine squared a is just equal to cosecant squared a. This one will cancel, so this one is a. So cosine over sine, this one is cotangent squared. So this is our second identity. So for our third identity, we must the first Pythagorean identity, which is sine squared a plus cosine squared a is equals to 1. Once we divide both sides, this time by cosine squared, we'll get another identity which is related to tangent and secant. So cosine squared a, cosine squared a. So recalling the identity, we will get, so this one is tangent squared a, this one will cancel, so this is 1, and this one is secant squared a. So this is our third identity. So to remember these identities, I will teach you a method or a technique which is called the super hexagon. Okay, this one is we can get a lot of identities using this. So imagine that there is a one in the middle of it, and then we must only remember the orientation or the order of trigo or the six trigo functions. We will start in tangent, and then sine, then cosine, then cotangent, then cosecant, then secant. We must remember this. We cannot interchange one another. For instance, we cannot interchange tangent and secant. If we interchange this, we will get different answer. So you must remember the orientation of the super hexagon so that you can get a lot of different trigo identities. Just remember this one. Okay, so for how many minutes? Okay, we still have 6 minutes. I will just explain this and then we can proceed to the other identities. So for a tangent, imagine that you have one here. So once you cross the one, you will get one over something. So for this case, we get one here. So if we are getting tangent, so you will get one over cotangent. So for yung sine naman, sine is equals to 1 over cosecant. For cosine, you will get 1 over secant, and vice versa. So for cosecant, you will get 1 over sine. For cotangent, you will get 1 over tangent. And for cosine or for secant, you will get 1 over cosine. So these are the reciprocal or yeah, the reciprocal identities. Makukuha mo na yung reciprocal identities. That's just the one sample. But if you turn this around, if you move like this or the other way around, you can also get another identity. So for tangent, it must yung kasunod niya, it is sine over yung kasunod mo naman, so cosine. This one is another identity. Same is true here. So for sine naman, so for sine is cosine over cotangent, and so on and so forth. Kahit baligtarin mo, it is just the same. So for here, we have secant equals cosecant over cotangent. That's another identity. Okay, so for the last one, yung Pythagorean identity, you will imagine that you have an arrow like this. So for lahat in this time naman, square mo silang lahat dahil dito ka mag another identity to. So sine squared plus cosine squared equals ito yung 1 na nakikita mo, yung imaginary 1 squared, which is just equal to 1. Sine squared plus cosine squared is equals to 1. Ganun din dito. So cotangent naman, dito 1 plus or 1 squared plus cotangent squared is equals to cosecant. Cosecant squared. Another identity. First identity, second identity. So for our third identity, ito naman, cotangent squared plus 1 squared equals to secant squared. That's your another identity. So that's just a technique in remembering those identities. Marami pa actually. You can get a lot of identities using this method. And they call it yung super hexagon. You can search it on YouTube or in other tutorials. Memorize different basic trigo identities. So that's all for today. We will continue this. Um, we'll continue these other identities and solve some examples on the next video or next meeting. Okay.